All right, welcome back, chemistry fans. Today, I'm going to go over the Unit 3 exam, the multiple choice sections of the test. So we start with question number 1. Let's jump into it here. Let's see if we can find where we are on that. I got to go back a few pages here to find those questions. So question number 1. What group of elements has the most similar atomic radius? So we're looking for elements that are on the same row. Magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, they are on different rows. Neon, argon, krypton, they are on different rows. Now, these in the middle, those are also in the same place in the middle with the D subsection. So let's see on a periodic table where these elements are. Be P, C, and N. B, E, P, C, and N. C, R, M, R. So what happens is in these questions, yes, they're on the same row. However, they did cross over this S and P, and that is going to change their size just a little bit, whereas we had those 4 that were all together in the same D sublevel. That is your better choice that we need to go with. All right, so question 1 is going to be the one I circled down here at the bottom is going to be your better choice. All right, which of the following electron configurations represents chromium? Chromium is element number 24. So what you could do is you could simply count until you hit 24. What we need to be aware of is it ends with this 3D4. So this guy's out because it's got the wrong abbreviation. So now we just got to figure out, well, what is missing in one that's in the other? It's the 4s that needed to be there before you can go to the 3Ds. Which element's abbreviation is correct for palladium? Palladium is element number, PD is 46. It's on the 5th row. That means it needs to have a krypton as its abbreviation. Okay. Which element has the largest atomic radius? Well, it's the one that's on the furthest left, lowest of it, because the closer you get to francium, the bigger you are. So let's see, GE is going to be over on the right side. SR is on the left side. That is the biggest so far. SN is on the same side, but to the right, and calcium is above that. So it is SR, the furthest to the left, down the lowest. What causes the atomic radius to increase? Energy levels. So that's repeated on the free response questions. What group of elements is represented by these peaks? It is the alkaline earth metals. They are all at the beginning of a start of a row. What pair shows paramagnetic? Means that they have the same structure for orbital notation. So they should have the same number of arrows in their box. AR and KR all have 2 arrows. There is no magnetism. They're diamagnetic. Nitrogen and phosphorus are on top of one another, and they each have 3. So that's a likely candidate right there. SR and SN, they do not. This is in the S's and the P's. That one is out. MG and CA, they both have filled S's. They are out. So my choice is the N and the P. What is the number of half-filled orbitals in sulfur? Sulfur has in the P's, it has 4 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many half-filled? The answer is 2. Which list contains ions or atoms that are isoelectronic? In other words, that have the same electron configuration, same number of electrons. So if they are just elements, they will not have the same element. They have to have something to do with their charges. So if I'm looking at magnesium and I'm looking at calcium, they are on different rows. That's not going to happen. If I've got F and I've got S below it, it's going to gain 2. Fluorine's going to gain, nope. So we're going to look at sulfur gaining 2, chlorine gaining 1, and potassium losing 1. It's down here. So let me show that on a periodic table so that you understand why that is the correct answer. So if I am looking for where these elements fit, sulfur, chlorine, and I believe it was potassium is the third one. If sulfur gains 2 electrons, 1, 2, it would have 18. If chlorine gains 1, it would have 18. And if potassium at 19 loses 1, it would also have 18. That is why they are all isoelectronic on that question. Okay, so let's see now. The valence energy level. Element X contains 2 electrons in the 5s. Below that energy level, element X has a partially filled 4D, so it goes to 4D. What type of element is? If it's already filled the 5s, it's now in the middle section. The middle section of the periodic table are called the transition metals. Which orbital notation diagram represents a violation of the Hund's rule? Some of you wanted to say this was a violation. It doesn't matter if you start up or if you start down. Those are correct answers. It doesn't matter if you start on the left and the right. What is a violation is if you put 2 electrons in the same box without first trying to fill up the others. Ground state electron configuration for gallium. Gallium is element number 31. It would have a 4p1. So this guy is out. This guy is out. So we're down to either B or C. And what we discover is that there is a 4D that's mislabeled. It should have been a 3D. This is my correct answer. Mendeleev was the first periodic table that emphasized the usefulness of predicting some of the elements coming up. What is the element in the 4th period of group 14? 4th group period means it's on the 4th row, and 14 means that it's in group germanium. Because that would be, yes, have 4 valence electrons. So let me show you that on a periodic table. So 4th period is right there beside potassium that we circled before. It's right here. 14th group, you come together, and that's why it's germanium. Okay. Let's see if I got through that page. I did. So on to the next page. An element that has this electron configuration would belong to what group? So you are, again, half filling this middle section, meaning that you are, again, a transition element. Which scientist developed a periodic table based on atomic numbers? That one is going to be Moseley. All right. So how many electron configurations are there for neon? Well, you could have just simply have written out neon's electron configuration, not even worried about this whole graph thing here. But what does it represent? The A represents 1s, the B represents 2s, and the C represents 2p. That's the first choice there. All right, final question. Which element is represented by this PES graph? This is the largest side, so I know that this is my 1s2, this is 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, but notice here, this is lower by 1. It's only 3p1, so you have to go onto your periodic table and find 3p1. It is aluminum. Okay, this is everything I wish to share with you for the multiple choice. Thank you so much for your time. I will talk with you again soon.